So here we are again, man. I'm about to I just did my whole I literally walked around the building. It took me like 30 minutes. It literally took me like 30 minutes to walk. That's how big this shit is. Huge. Including the parking lot and everything else like that. Yeah, it took me like 30 minutes. Word. But I was just talking about people just, we be in the same boat, people secretly competing with you, and people don't want to be in the same position as you, and people, like, it's just ridiculous, man. I'm not interested in anything no more, honestly, because it's like, if you can't see what I see, then I don't want to even be associated with you, because it's going to take too long for me to explain it to you. Like, you have to be able to see these things. Even if you have to pretend not to see, at least acknowledge it in some kind of behavior. You feel me? So it's like, I'm not even attracted to too many things like that. I'm really not attracted. By the way, I'm still straight, so all this gay talk, that's a lie, but anyway. I mean, like, they hate me for that too. Like, it's crazy. If it's not racist, it's homosexual. If it's not homosexual, it's politics. I mean, that's just, all these things are excuses. You feel me? Just another excuse for them to hate you. I cannot be everything that you say I am. I have never met a person who is that bad. Nobody is that bad. Nobody. I have never, ever. Even not even in history. Even the worst person who went out there and killed many of people, went home to his family and loved on his wife, and he had kids. When you listen to the movies, it was always somebody that loved them. So I ain't never met nobody that is that bad to the point where there's nothing good that you can say about that individual. You feel me? You cannot have nothing but negativity to say about that person. Everything that you hear about me cannot be negative. Like, it has to be something good about that individual. If somebody starts saying too many negative things, he's this, he's that, he just know how to say all the right things. He's not who he say he is. He's no everything. Be like, so just tell me one good thing about that person. You feel me? One good thing. Tell me one good thing about this individual. You feel me? Because, people will believe, like, men just love stories. That our brain is wired to tell, our brain is wired to tell stories. I realize sometimes I don't finish everything I have to say, then I just jump on to the next thing. But our brain is wired to tell stories. Since the beginning of time, we used to camp around fire and tell each other stories and everything else just to keep each other warm. That trait has been passed on to our genetics and everything else like that. You feel me? We have a DNA which have an information of how I'm supposed to look. Everything that I look right now, the way I look, my nose, my eyes, my lips, and everything else was in my genetic code. So which meaning I am who I am because I was already formed before I became into my natural form. So you feel me? But I also have the ability to contribute to my DNA or to contribute to the human race. And that's what happened when the first humans did it too, by guiding around, fire and everything else like that. So they made it in a way by telling stories around fires and everything else. Our brain became wired in connection with telling stories. So we love a good story. We love, even if it's a lie, we love it because it's entertainable. You feel me? Even if it's a lie, we just love it. It's entertainable. It's a good to tell and everything else like that. So, that being said, antagonizers, the antagonizers and shit like that. People wanna punch you in your face and just run off and get back in their car like little kids. Act like kids, man. These kids are just impossible to love. Anyway, so our brains are wired to tell stories. You feel me? So everything that you do right now, you are contributing. The behavior that you're performing right now is being contributed to your people or some form of humanity. So do not contribute in such behaviors because you're only setting us back. That's why it's very important that I don't do these things, because I don't want to contribute to such things, because we don't want to be a coward. We don't want to be a society that's cowardly, where we can't even protect our women, where we have to, you feel me, cheat just to get an advantage on the next person. No, you don't want that. Those people are supposed to die out and vanish. You feel me? You cannot rule forever doing such thing. Maybe 200, 1,000, yeah, maybe. But we're talking about longitude. We're talking about forever. You be talking about being rich forever. You're talking about everlasting. You feel me? And they will never ever last with that kind of behavior. Let's just be for real. That's just the truth. So I mean, I'm just not spitting bullshit. So as you can see, we was also hunter-gatherers. You feel me? We went out into the field. We became predators. And basically, being a predator is basically you hunting a prey, right? So that's what a lion do. So we took the position of a lion, where we stalk our prey. We see what kind of prey we want, then we analyze it and everything else like that. And these things actually was passed on this was passed down to us as men, because we became preys. I mean, we became predators, and the woman kind of became a prey because she stayed home and she was taking care. Now she didn't become a prey. She became more of a person who stayed home, right? And the reason why women are more likely to be able to function multiple things at once, because she was home taking care of the kids, cooking, then taking care of the household, then also being the protector of the household because the husband was not home. You feel me? So she was multitasking. You feel me? Why we men, we focus on one thing and we do it very well because we have a target in mind, and that's what we want to do. That's why women are more multitasking than we are, because of that time where we were hunter-gatherers. So between that time period, that has been passed on down to us. So every moment in time that we in is very important. So the way you behave and act is very important. You should not behave in this kind of behavior. Like, this shit is disgusting. Like, niggas need to understand that. These people are not qualified to determine what kind of behavior we should be conducting in. You need to question these things too. Just by these examples of why women are the way they are and why men are the way they are, because of that beginning. And these people know that, and sometimes they're trying to change us as a collective group. You feel me? And we got to do better. We have to understand better. We have to know these things. You feel me? We have to know these things. Just like, what other story did I give? I gave the hunter-gathering. I also gave the fact that we used to sit around, read a book. I think the book is called Story Wired to the Brain, or Brain Wired to the Story, along those lines. I forgot the title of the book, but our brain is wired to stories, man. This is how our brain functions. This is how our brain learns. This is the reason why most books are written in story form. You feel me? We live in a number world, but our brain is functioning to stories. This is how your brain connects to other cells, by telling story. Your brain cannot tell the difference between the story and what is reality. You can try it for yourself, actually, because sometimes you could think that your brain can differentiate a fiction from fact, but it definitely can't. It's the same thing to it. It cannot differentiate the two. And this is not me trying to take somebody else's thing and everything. This is actual fact. Like, this is me for a long time. I've always been a person who have studied the universe, and I've been into astrology. I know what the sun is and everything else like that, the evolving of the planet. This is something that interests me. You feel me? But then again, they're gonna tell it and be like, if I'm watching you and I watch somebody else, I'm just collecting information to better understand who I am, and to better tell my story, and to better tell you the visions that I have in my mind. I'm not trying to watch you just to copy. Like, come on, man. I ought to tell you off then, because you think I'm trying to be like you type shit. It's like, you feel me? Nah. I've been reading about the universe itself. I've always been interested in that. I used to watch how the sun I used to watch how the sun was formed and everything else like that. And I know I used to watch I used to watch that shit for hours. Like I was so interested in that to the point where my people was like, "Yo, how can you know so much about the universe and yet you don't know what's going on around you?" And I'm like, "Yo, it doesn't matter what's going on around me, man. What matters is like, why should I have to worry about what's going on around me when it's irrelevant? Because there's always going to be something going on around you." You feel me? I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to gain information that's gonna last for a very long time, and that's what I told them. Truthfully, it's always these two niggas on my dick. Honestly, one fat nigga and one gay nigga. They always have these two niggas around me. Like, you know, how niggas gain confidence off some bullshit. Like, with the first time when I start, I be studying everybody, and these niggas all of a sudden walking around feeling a little more confident than they're supposed to. You feel me? Niggas is weak, man. For real, these niggas is on some whole shit. They be on some whole shit. Fake, man. All of them fake. They be fake. Fake like a motherfucker. Anyway, I wasn't talking about that one till. Yeah, so that's how our brains are wired. So we have to be very, very careful of what we're doing right now, the behavior that we are involving as a collective group. You feel me? I mean, individually, you really can't change much. Maybe just for your bloodline and your DNA, you can change that. But as a collective group, that's what I'm talking about. Because people used to gather around as a collective group around campfires, and that was the population at that time. Then it became something to do from camp to camp every night. Then you have the hunter-gatherers, you feel me? We went through that transition to where men go out there and hunt for food and everything else while the women stayed home and had to multitask and take care of so many different things and work with other women. We men lack the ability to communicate our feelings very well because we were so busy in a focused target and aiming and strategizing. That's why we're good at strategizing and just, you know, organizing and bringing things together, which a woman too has that form of organizing. Just, you know what I mean, just strategy. Men is good at that and just being focused on one target. And that's what we're good at. But a woman is more multitasking because she had to be home and just basically take care of everything else until the man gets home. You feel me? And that's why women are good at multitasking and just taking care of the kids and everything else like that. So we have to be very, very careful in what we do as a collective group. You feel me? You can't be a coward and think that that's just going to be, oh, we just doing it to Jeffrey now. And it's no. There's always another victim. It's never enough. Then another one. If they haven't started already, then another person. Then when they don't have nobody else, they start attacking themselves. Then they start making excuses to attack other people. And guess what? It's something that continuous. It's a continuous behavior. And you keep going and going. It's something that's going to be left. You feel me? You don't want that kind of behavior. And you don't want to be afraid. Yeah, come on, man. Niggas stupid zombies. Anyway, you don't want to be. Shout out to Ralph Smart. You feel me? That's another YouTuber that I watch. Shout out to Zaza Ali. I know I shout out Nature Boy and Joe Holston. I always call him John Holston. Joe Holston and TD Jakes. But you know, shout out to Ralph Smart. Shout out to I'm gonna shout out all my YouTubers, people that I watch. You feel me? And I'll be quoting everything from them, things that I've learned from them. I think I'm gonna start doing that from now on. Feel me? Shout out to Zaza Ali, Ralph Smart. Today, I'm gonna shout both of them out. Shout out to Danica. You know what I mean? I take advice on relationships and everything else like that. Shout out to well, more's gonna come to mind. You feel me? Because there's so many. Sometimes it doesn't mean I forgot. It's just that I try to lose my thought of mind. I got like 3 thoughts that I'm supposed to speak about. Then when I have a notification up there and I'm like, okay, let me just talk about this before I forget it. So I just had to drop that in there because I seen Ralph Smart. Right now he has a topic called zombies. So that's what it is. Anyway, man. So we gotta be careful in what we indulge ourselves in and the behavior. All this fake shit that we doing, we gonna pass it down on. Unknowingly, we passing it down on. You feel me? We creating our next reality in this reality itself. And this does not, and it's like, it's a no-brainer. You can see it for yourself. Like my life is a testimony to what I'm talking about. You feel me? It's not like I'm making this shit up and trying to be like somebody else. No, this is my testimony. I'm telling y'all, and you see it for yourself. So I hate when they try to take away from my intelligence and be like, that's this person. Yeah, I might have borrowed some information from that person, but it's my testimony. I'm using my story to tell what it is. Like, that shit aches me. But anyway, man. When I said people are stalking me and everything, nigga, that is all true. Like, fuck, even the stalkers would tell you that. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to go into work early no more like that anyway. Like, I'll just be, I'm not feeling it. Really not feeling it. So we just gotta be careful, you know what I mean? I had a whole different topic I wanted to talk about, but first, November 2nd, I want y'all to go out there and vote. You feel me? I'm not gonna tell you vote for this person and vote for that person. The only thing I'm going to tell you is to vote for Trump. Don't vote for this person. Don't vote for that person. Just don't go out there to vote because you don't like this person, man. If you go, just stay at home, bro. Don't go out there and try to vote for Jesus Christ or go out there and vote for Kanye West. I'm sorry, Kanye. Anyway, if you go vote, go out there and vote for the person that has done a great job the last 4 years, man. Not the one that keep promising that he's gonna do his job. I don't even know when the voting ends. I don't know what time. I think it's all day. No, I think it ends at 6 o'clock. So just go out there and vote, man. Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. If you have to take time off work, they have compensation where you can actually take time off of work and go vote. Your company should provide that around this time of year. They have those already, so please go out there and vote. Feel me? I know. People be like, oh, but I thought you were spirit. You don't believe in the system and everything else like that. But people always say, even Christ said it, yo, man, look, man, respect the law of the land. Fuck is you talking about? You feel me? You part of it. Let's stop kidding ourselves. Like, niggas, you are part of the system. You are part of it. You part of it, man. Unless you one of these niggas that's living out off grid, and even off grid, they're still using technology just to check back into the system and everything else like that. Man, you part of it, man. So while you here, you might as well take the best advantage of it. You feel me? You are part of this shit already, man. Let's stop kidding ourselves and making it seem like, oh, I'm spiritual. I don't condone or abide by these kind of things. Man, listen, man. Christ himself, when they try to test him, he said, man, render unto Caesar to what belongs to Caesar, man. Obey the law of the land. Like, you feel me? Just obey man's law. You feel me? This is their law, and this is what they operating by. Then obey that law. Like, you feel me? And if this is what they do, if they vote and everything else, and you part of it, then let's stop pretending. You part of it. Like, yeah, go vote, nigga. You heard me when I told you to go vote. Just go vote, man. Stop. Niggas always want to point back to my spirituality and what I believe in. I thought you don't believe in this and that. Nah, man. We part of it. We part of it. Regardless of what I believe in it or not. We part of a system. So go out there and vote, man. Do what you need to do and obey the law. Follow the law. Don't break the law. Feel me? Don't be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? I be telling these niggas I am who I am, but they're always trying to tempt people against me. I always make sure I pay attention to the people that I follow, and I always label it as before and after. Just like when I came to this place, I observe it before and after. They only attach themselves. I bet you I'm gonna find somebody new on a channel to watch randomly. It's not even gonna be the same topic, and this person will be himself, of course. But watch how these demons attach themselves to that person, because I am watching that person. You feel me? And that's what they do. They always attach themselves to the people that I'm watching, just so they can infiltrate and tell these people, oh, he's this and he's that. All right, I'm gonna holler, man.